and as well as Eric's Blue Stakes hours are on there. Any questions?
So Ryan,
Yes.
the Ranch Road water line
Yes.
invoice, do you want to address them?
Sure. You have a specific question?
Yes, was this in the bid, is this in addition, is this coming out of the impact fee?
This is coming out of the impact fee. So this was, we had a contracted design, and then this was the construction management. So we had folks out there, watching daily and checking on them, taking survey points to the water line. And so that's the vast majority of that.
So
That's
people
all of it.
standing there watching cost $7,000?
Over the course of about 6 weeks, yes. We sent them out there once or twice a day to check on things. And then the change order started out at almost 50,000. And we went back and forth for quite a while to get that down to 17.
Did I mention he earned them?
Mention the what?
Did I mention he earned them?
Yeah, it sounds like that.
And then processing the pay requests, and we did some material testing to make sure that, the compaction and everything that's back under the road. With the topsoil that's right next to the trench, I honestly question, but that is what we normally do, so that's what we did. So the trench will be fine, the road around the trench is gonna fall apart.
So that road was not done well at all.
No, that road's about 2 inches of asphalt over 4 inches of road base and then 2 feet of topsoil.
That road, if you remember, that started out as a private road,
Yes, I remember. I remember when that road was built.
so that's what we.
If you remember the transportation plan we did in 2009 said there's something wrong and, if there's some major base issues, don't spend a lot of money on this. And we now have pictures that document it.
So is that something that sooner or later we're gonna have to address, aren't we?
Yes.
And how? And how will it be addressed?
Given-
That's another matter.
Given the hour, I will say yes, we'll have to address that.
Could I ask what that road is?
That's a road going to the, to the new school, Ranch Drive. It's down 3,000, take a left, and then it goes to the backside of the school.
Okay.
And isn't that pretty much the only road that's built that bad?
Is it T
Yes.
No, we have more.
Tiancum tees into that one,
Oh,
at the
okay.
end
I
on
think
the east
that's-
side.
I think that might be the worst one.
Big Hollow, Southfield Road. We got it
Well-
lined up.
They might have better road base though.
Yes. Southfield-
Maybe.
Southfield Road actually wasn't that bad when we dug into it. Big Hollow Road, I don't know.
What about the other side? Still gotta go
I
further.
haven't dug into that side, I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, that is the worst one I've seen in the town. Tiancum, I haven't dug into, but it looks very similar, but it seems to be holding up better for some reason.
No traffic.
Well, Ranch Drive doesn't have any traffic either. I suspect Tiancum has less road, topsoil under it, just by virtue of there's less topsoil.
Yeah.
Because it was the same developer at the same time, so I assume they use similar methods.
I
Did you
think they
bring
would've done-
copies of the contract and the change order with you?
No.
Kyle told me you were going to bring a signed copy. You and Chip both need to sign these. And make sure the figures are
Okay.
correct.
I'll make
I'll
sure
let
the
you do
figures are
that.
correct before I sign it.
On Stormhaven Water, the last page on your warrants,
Hold on here. Okay.
that Heber light and power bill has been higher than Daniel for 2 months. So I don't know if
They
that's
got our
gonna stay
meters
that way.
mixed up.
I think that had to do with the motor that was going out.
Oh,
So if that hypothesis is correct, next month it will go down a little bit. We'll see.
We did have additional testing, extra testing on the Stormhaven water. We got some positive samples for the coliform and retested and retested and retested. That last invoice for $220 is 11 samples. Gary just couldn't figure that there was anything wrong with the water. It had to be something contaminated. The last samples they took, he wiped everything with alcohol before he got the water out of it, and they finally all came back fine. So
so he was right.
everything is good as far as we know. And he
It
said
was
he
his
will-
bucket, huh?
He will adopt that practice. There's the two bills for Danny's electric motor where they got the new pump and everything.
All right.
Okay, so
Stuff on
is
there.
this the purchase of a new pump or is this a rewind? Can anybody?
I know that my opinion was a new, I'm pretty sure the latest one was a new one.
Okay.
So I heard new motor, but I'm pretty sure we put the new motor on the old pump.
That's probably true. I think
Okay,
he
yeah.
does
Anyway,
that.
so we
That
still
could be,
don't-
my mind is motor, thinking motor, so.
So anyway, I believe we got a new motor, but it's on the old pump, so it's been rebuilt.
Yeah.
So we still got
Okay.
I like that.
Okay,
a half-built right system.
Okay.
so at 10 o'clock at night on one night, I'm sure we'll be up there again.
Okay.
And then your payroll down below there.
Motion to approve the warrants.
We got a motion to approve the warrants?
I'll second it.
Got a second. Any discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
We do a lot of work, don't we?
On that same line item 12, we need to establish a date for a budget amendment public hearing.
Because the chip seal work was not done by June 30th, it was done in a week in July. We had it on the previous year's budget, we need to move that over to this current budget. And so we need to have a public hearing to
Can we
adjust
just make
both
it
budgets.
next meeting?
Yes.
Motion to make it next meeting.
Have a motion?
I'll second it.
Next meeting, got a second?
For a public hearing?
Yes.
Wonder if we need to look at solar permits in that, can we look at it at the same time?
Yes. I think
Yeah,
that's a big
public
thing to
hearing.
look at, so.
So we're gonna have maybe a triple combined public hearing next month?
Maybe we don't want to do that, because the business one will be big again.
What we have is, we've got, what, one, two,
That's what, yeah. So Heber Power and Light's changed their procedure.
What? solar permits?
On solar permits and what they expect from us and our coordination between us and them. And it's, I've talked to,
For inspections?
So they're not driving by?
no, they're still driving by. It's just more work for us, is the gist of it.
Oh.
And so where I recommended 250 before, we're not coming, since they implemented the new regulations, we haven't been able to hit 250. I've talked to my staff about keeping time down, and I think we can bring those numbers down. I think there's some things we can do now that we're familiar with their new processes, and it's not a learning exercise. But we're not gonna hit the 250 if we're gonna do everything Heber Power wants us to do. So,
How are we restricted to doing what they want?
it's a good question.
Definitely. I do all the solar inspections for Wasatch County. I do them for Summit County, but Heber Light Power has different requirements. And their requirements are their requirements, it's not optional. I mean,
What's different about them?
they require a separate meter. A separate meter has to be installed.
They're requiring a lot more than that.
Well, yeah, that's,
So certainly to put solar panels in and hook to their grid, you have to follow their rules.
yeah.
The question I have, and the council has, it's a good question, is the town of Daniel responsible for making sure the applicants follow their rules, or is Heber Power responsible? And what the process Heber Power has asked us to follow is taking us 2 or 3 hours per application to permit, and before we were doing it with about half an hour to an hour, and then the inspection. And so it's added a couple hours.
You mean the new
of-
permit process, is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
where we work more collaboratively. You know, before what we did is said, get a letter from Heber Power and Light that says they're good,
That was it.
and then we'll say, okay, and we'll do the inspection.
How much
Now
money
we have to go back and forth with them to get, you know, instead of getting that letter from them, we get the application, we send it to them, there's just back and forth, and we review it, they review it, and that process is taking a lot longer, and
How much more do you think you need for
I would say that, I'd say that $500.
We have 4 permits, we spent $1,400, $1,406.15 on 4 permits.
So I wouldn't say that it's less than $500.
Well, I'd say we figure out if it's our responsibility or Heber Lights.
No, but I mean, what a valid question is, do we just tell Heber Power, you know, we appreciate your new process, but we'll issue the permit when we get a letter from you, and tell all the applicants to go deal with Heber Power and come to us when we have their letter.
What would be the downfall of that?
It would be contrary to the kinder, gentler, but it would be cheaper.
We're doing
How
all,
contrary, how? I
we're
mean, they-
we're doing all the legwork. In other
Yeah.
words, we're taking the application, we're taking it, doing all the legwork on that. And really, we don't, there's no benefit, we're going in the hole.
So hold on, so we're talking about 500, taking it from 2 to 5. to compensate for this issue, right?
Well, this and other issues, we haven't hit where we're at.
But if I wanted to install solar, I'd probably not want to have the $500 bill from the town and go work it out with Heber Power myself.
Well, you'd still get the bills from us for inspection.
But that would be $250, right?
Right now, it's $250.
It'd be $250, and I can work it out with Heber Power, and,
If you could work it out. I guess that's what you're saying, is to find out if it can or cannot be worked out with by the individual.
well, I guess the way I see it is, I pay $500 to the town and I go work with Ryan for the whole thing. I pay $250 to the town and I go deal with Heber Light and Power.
I say we send you.
Yeah, I do too. I think as a homeowner converting to solar, I would want that. It'd be cheaper for me, I think.
So we can,
Assuming that Heber Light and Power will negotiate and be less expensive or something than that.
With
Well,
an
but
individual than a,
but Heber Power has their fees, and they're gonna charge their
They're
fees
gonna
anyway.
charge anyway,
So I think,
and
I can call them back and tell them, we talked to, the council, and so when we get a permit, we're gonna forward it all to you, forward it, we're not gonna forward anything, we're gonna send the applicant to Heber Power
yeah,
and say, when you're ready and it's signed off, show back, come back here and pay your $250.
yeah.
And in the meantime, we're not gonna facilitate or do anything.
I mean, they're talking about sending them to classes and all sorts of things now, Heber Power is.
we'll have to go show.
I'd say for this
up at
round,
meetings
let's
and
send them
just
straight to,
talk
like you
them
said,
about
straight to
it.
Heber Power.
And that will bring that back down. I mean, there'll still be another half hour, quarter hour to communication and training.
So you're saying, so after the,
But I think if that's the procedure we adopt, I think after that, you'll see them fall back down into to that 250 range.
Okay.
you need a motion for that?
Well, no, we might just not have it in the public hearing now, that's what we was trying to tie it into, held at the same public
Okay.
hearing.
Oh, I see.
If we don't do that, then we'll just let that lie, and then I need to talk to you about Richard Coles. And so, that's fine, I'm okay with that, if that's going on.
Good. I
So
agree
you
with
got a
John and
finish this.
for that for us.
We won't have that, so I think you had a motion for
So before you ask
Yeah,
about
do we want to do maybe some discussion? I had a motion, maybe I didn't get a second.
We haven't gotten a second yet.
So
You
the
said-
motion is to have the public
National
hearing
Cap turn.
next month on the budget item.
Budget amendment.
And I think it'll be a really quick hearing, won't it, or,
Yes.
so, I think it's okay.
Okay,
Motion
we have a
stays or
motion.
whatever.
I'll second.
We have a second? Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. So that was it. Okay, hearing, that completes item 12, item 13.
I make a motion that we adjourn tonight's meeting.
Motion to adjourn, do you have a second?
Second.
Motion a second.
What's his hesitancy?
Do we need discussion? All in
No.
favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Right.
Any opposed? All right, meeting adjourned.
It doesn't need to be on film, but I just like to
Well,
say.
hold on then, we're not.
It can be. This is an awesome council, and we can disagree and still friends. I appreciate that.
That's what I said in the beginning, we were